Hey guys, Lord Ranch here bringing out another League of Legends professional commentary. This time I'm going to go over the other semifinals in the Demacia Cup 2015 summer, as we're going to have Oh My God, aka OMG, facing off against Snake, or Snake Esports, or more commonly known sometimes as Team Snake. Interesting overall performances by this team. OMG, of course, a bit more of a famous team, I suppose. Last Worlds, they actually came in 3rd to 4th, lost in the semifinals, so, ended up in the 3rd to 4th slot. Overall considered a decent team, a decently powerful team, not amazing, not insane, not, oh my god, we're just going to win no problem. Have improved their standing significantly with the introduction of Uzi to their team, but not actually using him this game. It's instead going to be North playing in the 80 slot as a sub, so we're going to be probably and also LoveLing actually filling in for Xiyang, as opposed to what's usually happens. But other than that, they have Xiyang, they have Cool, and they have Amazing out of the starting members. Xiyang and Cool going to be bringing in the heavy sort of carry slots this game. So far, they're in the 6th spot in the LPL summer regular season, so they're not doing amazing. Actually ended up in 1st place in the regular summer season of 2014 LPL. Spring season 2014 LPL, got 1st place, 2nd place in the regular season for summer LPL 2014, and had a pretty decent run at Worlds. We're seeing a bunch of bans. OMG banning that Hecarim from Flandre at Snake. Flandre known as a Hecarim main, so they definitely want to take that away from his top lane here. Also Fizz ban. Also a bit of a target ban on Snake, as both Flandre and you can run Fizz, so Fizz acts as a sort of a flex pick for Team Snake, so they don't want to give them that. Azir, however, has been left open. OMG took Ryze, also open, so Xiyang just picks that up right away. Cool playing, seems like Cool is picking up Jinx for North, as North tends to play a lot of Jinx or Sivir. Seeing some Kalista, but Kalista is banned, of course, so, and Sivir also banned, so he's gonna grab out of the 3 left, out of the ADCs left on the pool is gonna grab that, and LoveLing gonna grab Gragas for himself, as Gragas and Rek'Sai are pretty much the ones being played. Alistar and Maokai banned, so Maokai is actually a ban on Xiyang, as Xiyang can actually play a pretty solid Maokai. He tends to play those heavily tanky dudes in the top lane. Maokai, Gnar, he's also been shown to play Nautilus, but they've actually also been shown to play guys. He's actually played guys like Cassiopeia, so the pick so far still pretty standard OMG, as in because they did not have access to Kalista or Sivir. Went for Jinx, as North doesn't really play a lot of Corki, so they're going to go for that pick there. And Gragas, very standard, almost always the first pick in jungle, as you leave him and generally leave him and Rek'Sai open. If none of them is banned, the opposite is going to get chosen. On the opposite, Snake, however, might be going for the Ekko jungle pick here. We'll see whether Ekko is actually played somewhere else. Azir has actually been known, Snake Azir has actually been known to Xiyang to play that Ekko in the jungle, so that's what might be seeing. Flandre seems to be setting himself up for a smiting top lane as well. Doesn't have access to Fizz, doesn't have access to Hecarim, so probably going to be going for Shyvana here. Actually, yeah, so Shyvana top lane. Do you still see that Shyvana top lane with challengers might being played in the Chinese leagues in the LPL and in the Demacia Cup, so the Chinese players still like to pick that up, even though like in solo queue it has actually a very low win rate. She's much considered stronger, and by win rate wise stronger in the jungle, but it's fine. Okay, it seems like that might not be what they're going for, so you can never trust the summoners spells at this point in the game. On the opposite side, Amazing and North picking up the Varus to give to Cool. Cool likes playing either Azir or Varus in the mid lane, so we're going to give that to him. And Amazing's just gonna pick up the Nautilus in the support slot. Very comfortable playing a lot of different supports. Often plays Alistar, but he's banned. Can go Annie, but doesn't quite fit in with the comp that they're trying to do. They have this tanky, hold people in place for a comp, engage, and allow Jinx to attack, Varus to poke from range and get that damage off, and DPS as well. So they have this heavy DPS comp, basically keep everybody away from everybody else, and we're just going to DPS you to death. We're going to have a lot of damage coming out of the double 80 carries. Because they have OMG have 3 carries that scale really well into the late game. Varus is strong at many points, but he's also a decent AD carry late game, sort of maybe stronger in the mid game than in the heavyweight game, but that's where Jinx comes in. And Jinx and Ryze are actually going to be able to beat out a lot of damage. Ella getting his Thresh to help defend the Corki. You going for the TF for the heavy controls. We're going to see whether he and Ekko can actually accomplish some jungle pressure here. And Flandre actually picking up the Azir. Azir and Fizz are pretty much the flex picks for Snake, as they do pick one of those champions up either for top or mid lane. Flandre has been known to play Azir and Fizz in the top lane, and you has been seen to play the same champions mid lane as well. So it's going to be a double AP comp for them. We're going to be seeing the Ekko, heavy tanky Ekko, but because Alistar was not in the pool, they had to sacrifice going for some heavy tanky play, and Xiyang actually prefers Ekko to Rek'Sai. He tends to play Gragas or Rek'Sai, at least lately, rather than anything else. At least from what we've seen, and he is actually a sub, I believe. Yeah, he is actually a sub for their usual jungler, who is Beast. He's not available this particular game for them, though, so when you're using a sub, you sometimes either use a sub because you know there are specific champions you want to play, and where Beast, he prefers to go, he can play Rek'Sai or Gragas or even Nidalee. You might be going for this pick instead, and we'll see how this overall goes. Going to be an exciting match. Going to be interesting to see who it is that joins the finals to play against EDG. Snake has been doing better in the LPL this season so far. OMG is in the sixth place currently out of 12 teams. Snake is actually in the third slot, doing really well. They actually came in second summer or spring 2014 in the LSPL, basically the Chinese Challenger Series, and have gone up really high, really fast, becoming a really strong team, strong contenders. So while Snake they are a bit of a surprise, and they would be a bit of a surprise for some people if they manage to get to Worlds. They still definitely have the capability to do so. They're playing quite well. They're a solid team, and we'll just have to see how well they do. They beat out Starhorn Royal Club to get to the finals, but Starhorn Royal Club is kind of a shadow of its former self, so their success in getting to the semifinals by beating them maybe not exactly amazing. OMG had to go through LGD, an arguably tougher opponent, so they had to take a slightly more difficult road here to the semifinals, but doing a good job nonetheless to do so. And seems like we're going to have a lane swap on OMG's side. They're going to go Jinx and Nautilus, as LoveLing and Amazing are just going to go, and LoveLing and Xiyang, are going to go and double jungle. And then the opposite side, we see the same happening. Azir and Ekko are double jungling together, just to give that Ekko that faster farm, that faster jungle item, just to accelerate the ganking, so that basically you get that much faster Ranger's Trailblazer than you usually would. And what that allows you to do, well, it seems like on the opposite side they're actually giving the farm to I feel that they were giving the farm to Xiyang. Actually, some harassment coming in from both sides. Cool and you doing a decent amount of damage. Cool just continue chasing the Snake, trying to bait it out. Oh, okay, I thought it was Snake trying. Amazing coming in position. Nice bit of bait there from Cool, actually trying to see if Snake would actually try to turn around, go for a gold card and wild cards to try to burst Cool down a little bit lower and trying to punish him. But that would have been his undoing. As you see, Xiyang, LoveLing, and Amazing are actually running around all over the place. You got a lot of players around the world called Amazing. You got a support player here called Amazing. You got Amazing in the NALCS playing for playing in the EU LCS playing for Origin, former TSM player, jungler Amazing. You also have Amazing J, who plays for EDG in the top lane. New acquisition for them. So a lot of players called Amazing. A lot of egos in esports, it seems. So Corki and Thresh are just going to chill out in the bot lane, just get total and absolute free farm. Jinx is doing the same in the top lane, only interestingly enough, Corki has actually gotten last hits than Jinx. Wonder whether Martin is feeling maybe a little bit rusty this game. Martin also actually not their main, so both teams actually running a lot of subs, aggressive action coming here, a little slow coming off on Cool, but not going to accomplish anything here. But yeah, both teams running several subs, so they might not be 100% comfortable. You got Beast subbed out for Snake Esports, and you got Martin subbing in for Crystal, who is their usual AD carry. On the opposite side, OMG actually don't have Zhuizhui, have, as I mentioned before, LoveLing playing instead of Zhuizhui, and Uzi, the heavily vaunted, not that amazing during regular season player, actually, but, you know, usually performs at Worlds player, being, has North playing against him, instead. So Snake's gonna grab a very early Drake here, just waiting for the spawn and just instantly going for the Drake as soon as you know, they, well, not waiting for the spawn, but rather, you know, as soon as they can, they go. Ooh, actually managed to get the backs out. So it's gonna be an early, that buff, you know, see how well they successfully managed to use it. Ooh, Zur and Flandre have to be a little bit careful there. Zur really low, but it seems like he's finally going to run back. So yeah, didn't even back before taking the first dragon. So there's a decent amount of control here near the Drake, as Snake has been allowed to take that early slight advantage. So for the first team fight of the game, they might have a slight edge once somebody wants to start ganking some place and try to take an advantage at any point. AD carries just, you see this a lot in professional games, especially during lane swaps. AD carries just pretty much free farm as much as they want. Xiyang has now made his way here bot lane. Xiyang is that, the good thing is Xiyang can be fairly safe. Now it's going to be Xiyang the AP carry and Amazing the support. That's an interesting thing happening here. Nice dredge trying, going to go on Ella. Going to be a bit of a response from Martin as well. Cast come off. Ella going to try to hook. Her response does hit a minion and barely doesn't go down. Barely survives. There's just not quite enough follow-up from his team to really accomplish anything there. Ryze also, you know, he's not at the point in the game where he can just throw his cooldowns around like a crazy person and perma-root people. He's going to need a lot more levels before that. It used to be at level 3, level 4, level 5, he could almost start perma-rooting people. But no longer the case. Have a bit of a coffee to keep a person going. That's just what you need. But yeah, this is kind of the meta it is in many ways right now. You just got your AD carries. They just get to free farm all game. As people aren't really afraid of them because early on they don't really do much. We'll see how well North actually manages to play this out. Chinese players, they like using their subs a lot. Not too surprised that they're using, like, actually Demacia, the Demacia Cup is separate, played separately from the LPL, so it's not like you have matches at the same time. You don't sacrifice an LPL match for this. They take a break from the LPL to play the Demacia Cup, as every single Chinese team actually participates in the Demacia Cup. You got everything from the round of 32 to round of 32 and the round of 16 are played offline. You got the quarterfinals onwards being played live. So you got some teams going on there. And you got Amazing in North, now sort of dual laning against this Flandre, but you will see Amazing again go around and roam the map. Interesting to note here is that Cool actually running Cleanse, while on the opposite side, Yu decides to not run Cleanse and go for the more standard sort of Ghosts pick on Twisted Fate, just to give him an additional escape, more maneuverability, as he lacks some, sort of both for the maneuverability and getting his gold clouds around, but also in case of a gank. Cool has his ultimate now. El gonna use his Q and response, taking a lot of damage. Nice Flan response. You coming in to resurrect, and LoveLing is solo, has the ignite on him, and they're gonna give TF the kill. Gold card coming off on Cool. He's gonna, ooh, actually, wild card's gonna miss there, but taking a lot of damage, and nice first dragon, and now getting first blood onto you as well. LoveLing doesn't look very happy there as they got turned around on, lacking a little bit of vision or just the timing to really turn it on and do anything about it. Went in a little bit too heavy, a little bit too aggressively with not enough vision and playing just overall a little bit too risky. Snake's just like, okay, what are you gonna do here? Okay, I'm just gonna hit you in the face, hit your tower in the face once with blue card. So a lot of AoE, you just now using the opportunity, knowing that, hey, maybe gank not quite incoming right away as LoveLing just died. I can push the wave just a little bit, force Cool back. He's just going to tank the dudes instead, use his flask to do so, and just continue putting the pressure. Flandre, you got interesting in that Flandre, he can, like when he's under tower, not so much, but otherwise he would generally be able to farm quite safely with his sand soldiers without being forced to take anything in the face. But now this tower is just going to go down as Jinx can push a tower down so fast, so early. Despite her nerfs recently, she can do that. Not going to push it all the way to keep the equalized position, as by not taking down the tower, she stays safe in lane for just a little bit longer. Nautilus doing a great job there getting the minions low, so it's easier for North to actually do this, and now the tower is in fact going to go down. Flandre cannot prevent this from happening, can just take a little bit of license for himself. But you notice how the farm distribution is heavily tailored towards the mid and bot lane. or, you know, the AD carries and the mid laners. Top laners almost don't have any farm whatsoever. Ryze has, of course, been forced to 1v2, and the same on the opposite side for Azir. And on both sides, both AD carries have actually taken a tower, so there's pressure on the opposite side of the map. And I think Snake will take this trade because they have the pressure for bot lane. They're going to want that second dragon, which is coming up in the middle, so it lets them exude some pressure on the bot lane. Corki's probably going to... We're going to see whether Corki actually shoves the lane soon. Try to force a response as Jinx herself is now running towards the bot lane. Azir is solo top by himself, does have his TP up. Xiyang has his own TP up as well as he's running to the top lane. LoveLing and Ryze actually trying to possibly convert a gank for the top lane, but Azir knows there's a ward there, so he's just going to back off and play super safe. You see a lot of players generally in professional players, they tend to play much safer. You see this even more, like very passive play often enough in, for instance, the NA LCS. It's, you know, players don't take risks, especially one of the main reasons why I think players don't take risks in the NALCS is because people play best of ones. In the LPL, you see best of twos, so people don't mind going for a more risky strategy in one game because, you know, okay, worst case scenario, we'll get a tie, right? And in Korea, they're even, you know, less fearful of that because they play best of three, so you win that one game, you maybe win the first game, and then you go for like a risky bulldozer strategy in the second game, and you can't actually win it. And if you do, you can still, you know, win the whole series. Nice! Technically, by Flandre, Zero, a little bit out of position. Nice route. TF thinking of coming in. That's get cancelled by Varus' ultimate. A Snake as you is actually in a lot of trouble. Xiyang was expecting help. LoveLing coming in from the opposite side. Does Xiyang have his ultimate? Doesn't have it anymore. And he just gonna get... Actually, I think he had it. Yeah, he had Chrono Break. I don't know why he didn't use it. Could have used it to save his life, but he decides not to. And deal some damage, possibly saving it for a future occasion. I'm not too sure overall, but he had his Chrono Break available, so I'm not exactly too sure why he didn't use it to save his own life there. To, go behind and trying to create a play with LoveLing. Maybe didn't expect the burst to come out and take his last 10% of life back. But now OMG is going to put a lot of pressure here in the bot lane. Corki's coming in closer to the mid as well. Ekko coming in, gonna get a stun off on Amazing, but nice engage, nice catch, 2 kills right away as Varus grabs Ekko and Thresh. Zur and Ella instantly being taken down. That's going to be an easy Drake. Martin a little bit out of position, trying to take down the Rift Scuttler to give him vision of the Drake. He's probably going to actually be able to do that. Does have his phase and she deals some damage. And now we have Flandre also in danger. Nice pick off by Cool. Beautiful Q there. Flandre not reacting nearly in time, and that's going to be an easy turnaround and Drake for OMG here. As Corki's trying to use some bombs, but that's going to be no chance whatsoever. They're going to be forced to back off here. Nice pressure by OMG, just utilizing a great timing here mid lane. We actually saw Ekko. Zur actually went in on the engage, but they got instantly turned around with LoveLing and Amazing playing amazingly, if you pardon the pun. And really, really nice shot by Cool is going to put him way ahead. He was already out farming TF a little bit. Well, actually now out farming him, you know, with all the free last hits that he got because of the death. But now, you know, he was a kill under, and now there's 3 kills for him. Are going to put him way ahead. He does have his tier, does have his brutalizer. Don't think he's even gone back to buy since he actually died. Trying to just take advantage of the fact that he has this ability to last it extra. Missing one there. Ish. Missing last hits. What is this? What is this, man? You get paid for this stuff. No, I'm kidding. So, seems like Amazing and LoveLing are going to be allowing themselves to play a little bit more aggressively, putting out the pressure, getting some deeper ward and deeper vision. You see there's a lot of there's some defensive warding. There's not a lot of warding from either side, honestly, but a lot of aggressive warding putting out from OMG, which Snake is forced to clear up. Not too much aggressive or defensive warding, not too many wards overall, but it does seem like OMG is going to try to exert some pressure. And Corki, once he has his Triforce, they're going to want to start making some plays. TF hasn't been making plays across the map yet, mostly just during the mid lane. In the mid lane, does have his Morel and Amacon, so he needs to go out there and start doing some damage. Varus now has him as Muramana, so expect him to start building that up pretty fast. To once he has mana, he has his mana immune. I was trying to say, once he has his Muramana, he can deal so much DPS. So we're gonna be careful. Seems there's gonna be a fight here in mid lane. We have Cool, LoveLing, and Amazing ready to go. Xiyang and North are nowhere to be seen at the moment, but Flandre and Martin are not in the fight either at the moment. There are no TPs for either top laner at this point. But but it seems like people are just going to run to their respective locations, try to get going. Azir and Ryze, of course, more late-game champions. Very behind in this particular game as they're just trying to get their farm underway so they can actually become a factor. Ryze only with a tier and catalyst at this point in the game. And here you see Cool utilizing that forward vision to actually steal the blue buff of Snake. Oh man, those Qs just deal so much damage. That's just going to be the huge problem for Snake, because, oh man. Oh, the ultimate comes through. They're going to catch him. The ultimate from Nautilus isn't going to be enough. Not quite. Beautiful Q from Cool. Yet again, utilizing, knowing where it's going to come up. And beautiful death charge following up into a Q from Varus. That was great play. And 4 kills on Cool here. Just showing us beautiful play with Varus. I wonder whether we're going to see actually a respect ban coming out from the opposite side. But Varus putting up so much pressure, constantly farming it out. And in a great spot here to actually keep doing what he's doing. And the poke, because Cool is so far ahead this early. Brutalizer and Muraman is actually quite rough at this point in the game. Man immune, rather, what I'm trying to say. Oh, dredge line yet again. Casca as well, easily going to cash Ella here. Cool gonna grab himself yet another kill as Ekko manages to kill Amazing. Martin here in the fight as well. Cool getting fairly low. He's gonna Valkyrie in, but gonna maybe get turned around. Cool actually flashed away, get out of that. Xur trying to get in close. A lot of mana being taken down. LoveLing being taken down the opposite side. Martin might actually lose as North is trying to get in position to use more abilities. Cool is quite low. Flandre dodging a Q there, as that will be a 1-for-2 trade. So finally a more positive trade for Snake. They are ahead in OMG is ahead in tower, so Snake wants to try to equalize that gold disadvantage they have. 1,500k gold under at this point. And they just haven't been winning the fights, but despite catching Ella, OMG stayed for a little bit too long, didn't disengage fast enough. So giving Snake time to actually catch Amazing and LoveLing, killing the tanks, ironically enough. But they'll be fine. Feeding Cool yet another kill. He's going to go nuts. He has his cooldown reduction boots. He has his pickaxe. His Qs are just going to be flying around all over the place. Dealing as much damage as humanly possible. So this bit's going to be all about positioning. Like, you see more forward wards. You see forward wards from both sides. You actually see that a few forward wards on the north side of the map from OMG and more forward wards on the south side, and that's exactly what putting down tower pressure allows you to do. It's just, you know, that's just the way it is, and that's the great thing about it, that you're just gonna be able to put down that pressure. You're gonna be able to have vision of possible enemy movements, and you're gonna be able to have vision of possible enemy movements and just be able to do a lot of good things. So you got to just give that vision, and Snake is going to want to keep control of Dragon. That's one of the main things here. They got the first one. They do have the pressure in the bot lane. They want to keep control of Dragon. It is coming out for this win. You see this game, how like the Dragons, they are fought over the second they're popping up. Nobody's like waiting. Nobody's thinking about it. Like, okay, first Dragon was taken by Snake the second that they were comfortable, and that was before Xur even went back and bought with Ekko. Everybody just went around for the Drake, took it, and there we go. Good to go. And that's just, oh, nice Chant of Corruption. Martin going to take a lot of damage. Going to get saved by Ella, though. It's going to be perfectly fine as Flandre is here in the mid lane trying to push at some of the stuff. Doing good job of dodging those skill shots. Piercing arrows. With Martin fairly low, using potions to pop himself back up. They're going to try to go for Drake here, at least getting some control. Everybody's close by, it seems. TF's coming from the opposite side. OMG's going to put on the pressure. Going to say, okay, you're thinking of taking Dragon. We're going to grab your tower with a little bit of position here. Jinx is going to be able to run in. Ella, Martin. We have Flandre is a little behind his team, so he's not really in a position to help out. He might get caught. Martin, Xur, and Ella using this Rift Scuttler to run a little faster. TF does have his ultimate, so he's kind of getting himself ready, just pushing out the bot lane, putting on the pressure for the Drake, seeing if he can force OMG out of position, force him to run to another wave. Flandre is being pushed heavily mid, so he's just trying to push that out so that, you know, he doesn't have to trade a lot. Smartly puts down one of his own turrets as the rest of his team starts now fighting the dragon. LoveLing is thinking of going in on it here. LoveLing north, everybody going in. The Thresh trying to catch a snake yet again. We're going to have the depth charge. Xiyang trying to go in, getting a stun off, getting the shield, trying to escape, but I think they're going to give up dragon for this. Martin getting hit with a slow. Is he going to have what he needs in order to swing down? Sure, if he has the Valkyrie on the opposite side. Snake, you and Xiyang actually going on you. Now we have Martin taking a lot of damage as well. You going to get stopped. Amazing going to get the kill on him. And that's going to be 2 kills for OMG, and they should be able to grab this. What is Azir doing? Going in, getting for the stun on a bunch of people, but gonna use his Chrono Break in order to get out Martin in position as though he's just gonna get killed. And Azir, what were they thinking there? Instead of playing safe and maybe backing off, trying to go for that 5-man stun, it seemed, but we're expecting to deal a lot of AoE damage, maybe with Corki, but just going in way too soon, way too fast. And that's just what you're going to have sometimes. For instance, when a sub plays, if a sub is not too used to playing with you. Also, don't forget, you're having both subs. Both of those guys were sub. That's Martin and Xiyang. And you see just overall, Ella just gets caught again by the dredge line. Nice follow-up with a death charge from the Nautilus. Martin being forced to Valkyrie away. And at this point, there really should be gunning back, but Yu is in a lot of trouble. Xiyang using his ultimate to follow him, rooting him in place. They're just going to get the easy kill. Now at this point, Flandre and Martin are in the back. And Xiyang, instead of just backing off, he's like, the enemy team were going for it. He got the 2-man stun. He was hoping for a 4-man stun, but LoveLing and North did a great job of getting out of position, and Cool with a beautiful chain of corruption, getting even more kills. Just Snake kind of letting OMG run away with this one at the moment, as they're 4K, as they're almost 5K under, a little over 4K under, losing in Drakes, losing in towers, and OMG taking a sizable advantage at this point. And it's just the team fighting. It's just people getting caught. Ella has been caught twice now out in the open. And feeding 7 kills to Varus, that's pretty harsh. He now has a Last Whisper as well, and is slowly building towards his Muramana. And once he has that, the damage and DPS is going to be pretty heavy. It's not just his skills that are going to do a lot of damage. His auto attacks are going to hit for really, really high damage. Seems like Flandre is pushing out top lane, just trying to equalize this tower position. Snake has not been allowed to pressure mid at all to try to open up the map a little bit. The pressure has always been on their side. As Cool has a lot of wave clearing tools, so finally Flandre, he's going to open up the flanks of the map, see if he can put down some forward wards to try to get some vision going. On the opposite side, OMG is going to say, fine, alright, we're going to grab a level 2 turret, we're just going to keep up the pressure, we're not going to allow you to control bot lane anymore as we allowed you to do earlier on in the game. We're just going to grab your dragon, grab all the resources you have access to, and try to, get advantage this way. Ryze at this point only with a Rod of Ages alongside his tier. Not too much on the opposite side. We do see Azir. Actually, Flandre does have access to, of course, his auto cooldown reduction. Doesn't want a single needlessly large rod. We'll see what he actually ends up building at to. You trying to desperately catch up, and he's not been allowed to make any plays. You after like the first 5 to 10 minutes of the game, he's been completely shut down since the 10-minute mark. He's not been allowed to make any plays. One of the things that, the lane swap was done extremely well by OMG in order partially to also prevent that from happening, as Ryze wasn't chilling he wasn't chilling in a dangerous position where TF could just go out and farm. And one of the times that TF was going top lane to try to help his team, Cool, you got Cool just goes in there and just chains a corruption him, and what are you going to do? You're not going to teleport away, you're rooted, friend. They do have a decent amount of wave clear in Martin and TF, and Flandre's Azir, but they're going to be in a little bit of trouble because they're always being pushed out. And with the huge advantage of farm that Cool has with all these kills, that he can just push the wave and poke and poke and poke and poke, and he does all the poke his team needs. Eventually, look at that. Flandre just takes a piercing arrow in the face and loses a third of his health. And all this poke just now, Ella's getting low, and now they're just waiting for Amazing to make a play. Xiyang, Ekko, trying to get in position. He's actually pink warded to try to go in here. LoveLing thinking, maybe reading something here, but now Flandre and Ella are being forced to bag, and this is going to be the perfect timing for these guys to do something here. It seems like they actually canceled the bag because being forced to do something. LoveLing thinking, hey, there's something here, and forcing Xur to actually back off. And the second that happens, they're going to push in. Q from Ella misses. Chain of Corruption misses as well. Flandre going to get caught. Depth charge, that's going to be it. Ekko goes in from the backside. He doesn't manage to do anything at all. Does deal some damage. Takes, actually, we've seen the Nautilus die. Amazing goes down, but Xur dies down in response as well. North now dealing a bunch of damage. Nice Q from Cool yet again, as North actually flashes and misses with a zap, but Cool follows up with a beautiful piercing arrow. Almost gonna get taken down, but takes Corki down in response instead of dying to him. Cool with the ace this game. My god, man. Talk about those piercing arrows a little bit, shall we? As Cool just hits piercing arrow after piercing arrow after piercing arrow after piercing arrow, and mark my words, you're gonna see a respect ban on Cool's Varus this next game. Look at that, misses the Chain of Corruption. Great dredge line into depth charge by Amazing. Kill Flandre, instantly Jinx ultimate misses, doesn't matter. Xur comes in from the back line, and Amazing flashes back to be safe from the front line, but dies in response. That's fine. Everybody on Snake's team is really low. Ella tries to get a Q. He just gets hit with a piercing arrow. North goes in, misses a zap, but Cool flashes in, hits the piercing arrow there in response, knows that Corki comes in and actually ends up killing him as well. The piercing arrows, absolutely amazing by this guy this game. And look at the out of the 14 kills that OMG has, 11 of them are by Cool. 11 kills, and at least half of them, if not more than half of them, are with a piercing arrow in the face. At this point, also has now built his Brutalizer into a Ghost Blade. That's going to be an easy third Drake for OMG, as they have complete control now. A lot of forward wards, no offensive wards, nothing but defensive wards by Snake, as they now play to. Now, they're not gonna, like, the way they're playing, there's no way, they have no hard, they are gonna have an amazingly hard time doing anything against this, because they have a really squishy line. Yeah, Xuri's playing like tanky, but he's behind. I mean, he only has Cinderhulk. He doesn't even have his Frozen Heart yet. It's only almost 30 minutes of the game. He doesn't have his Frozen Heart yet. He's really far behind. On the opposite side, LoveLing has Locket, so a lot of the AoE damage that Xur, Flandre, you, and Martin could do is eliminated. Also, never mind the fact that Snake is actually really easy to mine. There again, piercing arrows just hitting all over the place. Never mind the fact that Snake is actually really easy to itemize against. You just get MR. Nice Chain of Corruption. That's going to turn around. Amazing going to go in really heavily. Ella taking a lot of damage. Ultimate for coming. Snake. Martin actually get the kill at the Amazing as he takes down the front line. Zhang Miao going to take down Xur. Now Flandre's in a lot of trouble. He's going to Emperor's Divide to force the tower fight. But never mind that, as only Amazing dies, and he's perfectly fine with that. The front line taking the brunt of the damage to kill Azir and Flandre here. Ella gonna grind that kill. That Q not gonna be enough, but the follow-up from Cool's hail of arrows is gonna be enough to actually get the kill, and that's gonna be a quick finish. You out of position as well. Cool gonna get yet another kill and go in on Snake here. Yeah, pretty much all the kills. And the ace, triple kill there near the end for Cool. That's going to be a 27-minute game as Cool just carries OMG all the way through the first game. Easy peasy. Looking so cool doing it, if you will. But that's definitely going to be a respect ban. Just great play from Varus, and let's not take anything away from Amazing that game. Really, really good play from Amazing, initiating multiple fights in beautiful fashion, catching people with a dredge line, following up really well with depth charges, just setting up kill after kill for Cool. North almost wasn't necessary that game. He just sort of, like, compared to what all the damage that Cool was putting up, just North never really got properly going. But he was helping, he was DPSing, he was doing some of the damage when people were grouping up. But first game victory for OMG, definitely deserved. And we're going to move on to the next one now. So, see you guys there. GG, wrenching out. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.